Hey Jenny, how do you strengthen your wrists?
That's a really good question, Travis.
Thank you.
Yeah, we actually have three favorite ways to strengthen the wrist that we use in Strength for Yoga. And let me show you all three of them.
All right.
So the wrist joint, it actually moves in multiple different ways. And so we want to target it with multiple different exercises so that we can be really thorough in all the ways it moves. So let's start with what we call the wrist flexion push-up. And for this one, you'll start on hands and knees, and then you'll simply lift your wrists up off the floor. Exactly, you're doing a great job. And then you slowly lower them back down. So what he's doing here, what Travis is doing, is he is working wrist flexion. This is that direction of motion of flexion, and that's why we call this the wrist flexion push-up. The more forward his shoulders come, the more he'll be loading the wrists and the harder this will be. And the more that he backs away, the less challenging he'll make it. So you can really scale it to your body. So there's a second wrist strengthening exercise that we love at Strength for Yoga. And this one will strengthen the wrists in the opposite direction. And these are called wrist extension push-ups. So Travis starts with his hands in fists, and then he slowly lowers his wrist down and then lifts them back up as he brings his fingers back into the fists. And so as you can see, this direction of motion that he's moving throughout the wrist is wrist extension. And that's why these are called the wrist extension push-ups. Same deal, shoulders more forward, it gets more challenging, shoulders further back, we back off and it's less challenging. So that's two of three. We have a third favorite wrist strengthening exercise at Strength for Yoga. And this one is for this direction of motion that is called rotation. And we are going to show it to you demonstrated with a broom. And a broom is a really great tool to use for this, but it's not like the only prop. You can also use a hammer or a dumbbell, like a smallish dumbbell, and you hold one side. The idea is that it's an object that's kind of long and you're holding it at a off center angle. So Travis is holding this broom pretty far off center so that he's got like more weight on one side, and then he's rotating. So his forearm is also moving here. So there's forearm pronation and supination happening. So we're also targeting that movement as well. But the wrist is also being targeted isometrically here as the entire forearm rotates. So you can see he's moving through a full range of motion from supination, which is palm up, to pronation, which is palm down. So all three of these are really great wrist strengthening exercises that all target the wrist in a very complementary way. How do your wrists feel now?
Amazing. I feel like I've gotten stronger already.
That is the best to hear.